Around 5 p.m., Mom made me some steak and eggs. I cut the steak myself. And it was all pretty good. And the time prior to that, I worked on the B female Lucha Libre wrestler by doing the front of her yoga pants, which I couldn't really put black stripes on since I'm pretty sure yoga pants are generally one color uniform. I think I did the yoga pants in the morning. And then in the noon to afternoon hours, I drew La Abedna, which is Spanish for the bee, in the same text style that I used for the Ladybug Mutual Libre wrestler. These wrestlers are intended to be female. But I've had cases where people mistook them as male because I have to make them pretty muscular, or at least I decide to do that because I'm doing a wrestler. And as such, when I draw the lines for the breasts, I'm thinking maybe people mistake them for pecs. Which, yeah. In a 2D space, the two look similar, but I'm thinking that the shape is different. And as such, the lines are different. Someone thought that wrestler was male as I worked on it at a going away party for one of Mom's friends, which was also a birthday party for that same friend. Even though I don't think it would actually be their birthday, but I think they would be of this area by the time their birthday actually did roll around, so we left around 8 p.m. and got there about half an hour later. Throughout the night, I sang a total of 3 karaoke songs, which were first Oobla Dee Oobla Da by the Beatles, Then Nice to Know You by Incubus, which I decided to do because it had been a while since I last sang a song by Incubus. And I think I used the same reasoning for singing Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson, which was the third and last song I sang. For the party, two sets that were both each partially vanilla and chocolate mini cupcakes were brought in. And these cupcakes either had orange frosting or yellow frosting. The intent was for there to be an autumn theme based on my observations. At one point, early on, there was a birthday card for mom's friend. She goes by the sort of initials KT. And that also ends up, I don't know if those are actually her initials, but that's a sort of nickname she goes by. Kind of like how one of my nicknames in the past was Mac Attack. People have referred to me to that in the past. Primarily my immediate family, but it's been a long time since I've been referred to that nickname. Usually it's just Tyler or something like that. For signing the birthday card, I did my usual of writing out my entire name, including my middle name. And essentially putting a sort of zigzag border around it. Essentially a spiked border around it with a black ink pen. Same thing when I wrote in Happy Birthday. And that's how I signed the card. The birthday card. Throughout the night, I only had one vanilla tiny cupcake with orange frosting towards the end. And that's simply because there ended up being so many leftover cupcakes. And all I got at the Dakota was one, the Cadet specialty cocktail, which at this point I could probably describe as a sort of mule. And since it was served in the traditional copper cup, and it was at least partially made using ginger beer, although it also had Hypnotica and some other stuff. It came with a lime slice, which I think all mules come with. I only had that one specialty cocktail, which ended up costing all of the $13 that Mom gave me to get that drink. Although oddly enough, on the specialty cocktails menu, they don't list prices. There are no numbers. And next to the names for the cocktails. Then later on, I think before I got the Cadet cocktail, there was this composition book being passed around that contained different sections for each of the guests. To write a message for KT for the going away party. This composition book came sometime after the birthday card. And I resolved to not do something simple for the composition book entry. My section in particular was denoted by, I think, a picture of me with a Hawaiian necklace. I think at the time I was at California Rollin', or someplace with that kind of atmosphere. That's what the picture depicts. I think it was taken sometime in the summer. Each guest section was denoted by a picture of them. for KT to remember them by. I decided that I wouldn't write something simple like I did for the birthday card. Yeah, I ended up writing out a paragraph, only it wasn't formatted like a paragraph. Since this wasn't a writing assignment, and if it was, more likely than not, I would have typed it out and not handwritten it like I did the message for the going away party. I generally wrote down whatever I happened to think of, which included some nice things, including me being grateful to have gotten the opportunity to meet her. For all the good times we had, even though I think at this time I've only seen KT a few times to a handful of times in my life. And even then, though, I don't think those interactions were very significant, but they were still nice. I tend not to have that many significant interactions because I spend a lot of time either online or at my computer listening to YouTube videos while working on either polystyrene drawings or Dan Hamming episodes. Still, I am grateful for any interactions I do have. And at times, I think I do make an effort to seek them out, even though it's not on a consistent basis. Because I don't feel that compelled to do so. Besides the cadet, a specialty cocktail, I also had 2 to 3, if I had to bet, I would say 2 glasses of iced water. Between those drinks, making my hands a bit wet at times, and me not wanting to touch the polystyrene block like I needed to in order to work on it. I didn't get a huge amount of progress done on the B female Mucha Libre wrestler. But I did get a significant amount of work done on it. In particular, working on coloring in her face mask with dark gray. Sharpie markers. Though I think there were points in which I had to use a more medium gray Sharpie marker because that was the darkest hue of gray I had for ultrafine Sharpie markers, and there were points in which I needed to use an ultrafine Sharpie marker. Due to me needing to carefully maneuver around both her hair, which was colored using a light yellow Sharpie marker, and the little hairs that make up a face mask that's intended to be anatomically correct bee costume. Which are more peach colored. From my recollection, KT in the past has told me that I should sell my polystyrene drawings. And I have since done that, having completed a few commissions by now. Though I've sold some and haven't sold other of the handful of commissions yet. And I'm not sure of this, but I think KT visited my emerging artist stand back at the Cornhill Arts Festival back in July. Though I'm not 100% sure on that. I think the commissions, in a way, kind of just came naturally. I mean, drawing on polystyrene is something I enjoy doing. In a sort of sense, creating something from nothing.